we're at a flamenco show, and I just got a huge glass of sangria. Look at these massive glasses. Drink up, guys. Cheers. We're inside the Royal Palace of Madrid, and it is stunning in here. I love a good ceiling painting. Stunning in here, I love it. Yeah, we're all matching in florals. That was Elena's plan.
Elena said so.
And mascara. And mascara.
Yeah, I was like, look at the mascara. Yeah, look at my eye.
Look at the mascara. Ooh. It's so pretty. We're at the top of the Cathedral de Santa Maria with the panoramic views of Madrid down below. It's very beautiful. You made it to the top.
I did. This was an easier one. I love
Madrid.
Fuck. Yeah. Hey guys, welcome to Plaza Mayor. How we feeling?
Pretty dang good.
Sugared up on churros.
Super sugared up on churros.
We're amped.
We're very amped. And now we are in the plaza, so we'll see what we get up to in here. Maggie and I made it to Parque de El Retiro.
Yes, we did. It smells beautiful.
It smells very beautiful. We've got all these pretty trees in bloom, which is beautiful. And then we've got a moat. We got some cool looking trees. Yeah, it's like everything here in Spain. It's very, very beautiful. Like all this purple and green. Are you kidding me? It's everywhere.
There's green, purple.
It's rain and purple, purple rain, purple rain. That's what I'm singing in this park. Mr. Turtle.
Okay, there's multiple of these guys.
They're like all, oh my gosh. Hello, ducks. I got no food for you. No tengo comida, lo siento. Oh my gosh, there's another turtle head peeking out too.
Whatever I'm in, it's
We're in the Botanic Gardens here in Madrid. Another beautiful place. So much green and flowers, I love it. Elaine, are you filing your nails in the Botanic Gardens?
I'm multitasking.
Great. Okay, so little update. It's the day before we're supposed to leave, and there is a giant power outage throughout all of Spain, Portugal, and southern France. So power's been out for like 4 hours now. It's after 4 p.m. So train stations aren't working or any airports. We're supposed to take a train to Barcelona this afternoon. We're supposed to be on it right now, but obviously that's not happening. So yeah, we will see if we actually will get to Barcelona tonight and if we'll be able to make our flight home tomorrow morning. If not, we gotta figure out another plan. And we have no cell service at all, so we have like absolutely no way to communicate with anyone back home. And we also like have no data, so we can't like look things up ourselves to see what's happening or an ETA. So yeah, it's pretty crazy. But at least we're just sitting in right outside of the Botanic Gardens here in Madrid. At least it's a nice day out, but yeah. I hope things work out before tonight. So we'll see. I love traveling. The mania.
just, I'll remember this later on in my life.
Stranded in Madrid, stranded a fool. What will they say?
When they see me in locker in the city. It's so...
One day at home.
A shot of you reenacting. No, that's okay. So, good news. We got our luggage. Here we are. But we had to destroy our locker. I ripped it apart because there's still no power, but at least we got our luggage. So I hope we don't get arrested now. All right, I am home officially from Spain, safe and sound. And I wanted to just give one more clip to this vlog because I feel like it ended on a very chaotic note. So a little background context. So on Monday, April 29th at about 12:30 p.m., the entire country of Spain lost power. And it wasn't just Spain, Portugal lost their power as well, and even south of France briefly lost power. What made the situation more difficult for us specifically is that the power outage happened on a travel day for us. It was our very last day in Madrid, and we had checked out of the place we had been staying in for the last few days, and then we had an afternoon train scheduled to take us from Madrid to Barcelona, where we were supposed to stay in Barcelona for our last night of the Spain trip in total, and then fly home the following morning out of the Barcelona airport. No planes or trains were going to be running at all in Spain for the entirety of the rest of the day, which means that our train out of Madrid was not happening. We didn't have another place to stay for the night, and we didn't have a place just to go back to throughout the day, which made it really hard. And all of our luggage was locked up in a storage locker, and the only way to access that storage locker was by putting in a code, but it required electricity to work, so we were locked out of that room and therefore locked out of getting our luggage. And on top of all of that, our phones don't work. We have absolutely no cell service, and of course Wi-Fi is not working either, so we couldn't look up anything about the situation or to get a better idea of what to expect. We couldn't contact any businesses in Spain, and we couldn't contact anyone back home. As the hours went by and nothing had changed, it became really clear to me that we needed a new plan and we needed to figure it out fast. So what you saw in the last clip was when me and my cousins went back to the storage locker, and somehow people had gotten inside. I'm not sure how, but regardless, they got in there, and the lockers, of course, needed electricity to work. And there were a couple young women in there who said, we're gonna go find the police and ask them if they can help all of us access our stuff from these lockers. So we waited for them, and they came back a little bit later, and they said, the police said they can't help us, everyone for themselves. I found like a metal hook and just used that as a makeshift crowbar to like pry the door open enough so I could get in and like rip it off of the screws. I don't know how I did that, by the way. I've never once done anything like that in my life. We got our luggage out, and then we were sort of like half joking about just sleeping in that room for the night. But as the time was going by, it became apparent to me that we needed somewhere safe to sleep for the night. So I decided to go out into the street again, and I literally just started going door to door to like every single hostel and hotel I could find and asking them if they had any available rooms for the night. And they all still didn't have any power, and each one I asked, one after the other, said, no, we have no rooms, which made sense because obviously tons of people were now stranded in Madrid, so everything had filled up very quickly. So finally, I went up to this hotel. Luckily, this hotel must have had their own backup generator because they did have power and their Wi-Fi was working. And I was like, that's the most crucial thing that we need right now. So we got in there, and once we were all settled in and I'm on the Wi-Fi, I booked us the earliest train tickets out of Madrid to Barcelona that I could for the following morning. And when we got to the station, there were just people everywhere. Like, so many people had just slept on the floor of the train station that night. And there were tons of people crowding around the train station staff. And the basic gist I got from them was that there were no trains running and no one could buy tickets at the station. But I was like, let's just stay here. Let's just wait and see what happens. And then, what do you know? Suddenly at 6 a.m., the train station staff announced that trains are going to be pulling into the station, but only people who already have tickets for those trains are going to be able to get on them. And lucky us, we had bought the tickets the night before. And I was like, okay, we're going to Barcelona. It's happening, because it was an express train that's just going straight there, no stops. However, because of everything that was happening, the train had been delayed. And so the whole train ride to Barcelona, I had like this mantra in my head I kept saying of like, please let us make this flight, please let us make this flight, please let us make this flight. Let me tell you, as soon as those train doors opened, I hauled ass. So I started sprinting down this platform and just hoisting all my luggage up the stairs because I wanted to beat the crowd of people getting out of the station. And I just ran to where the taxis were. One cab driver spotted me, so he gets out of his car and he's like waving at me and like pointing at his car, like over here. And I'm like, yeah. So I'm like calling my cousins like, come on, like this way. And so we like get up there and I tell him, you know, like we want to go to the airport, and he meant business. He was like darting through lanes, like gunning it down the highway. Like he was doing his best to get us to this airport as fast as possible, which I greatly appreciated. So we were able to get through TSA relatively quick, and then we're running through the airport to get to passport control next. And by this point, we've got 20 minutes left of boarding for our flight. So we go running through the rest of the airport to our gate, and we get there just before they call the very last boarding group. So we made it onto our flight as originally scheduled and got home safe and sound. That concludes our Spain trip for 2025. That was definitely the most difficult travel experience I have ever experienced, but it is the reality. When you travel often enough, you're eventually going to run into some type of situation where you really got to figure out what you're going to do when a major problem comes up. And now we have a really crazy travel story to share with people for the rest of our lives. So that is it. That concludes country number 3 on the 10 countries in 10 years plan that I'm currently working through. So I hope you enjoyed this travel vlog. I hope it was interesting, entertaining. Thank you so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it. And I'll see you in my next travel adventure. Bye!